Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask Doc Live with Dr. Joel Wallach. We are so excited that you came and visited with us today. It is going to be 2 hours of amazing conversation with Dr. Wallach, as we are able to actually interact with Dr. Wallach here, either by phone, by chat message, or by video. So as we are going through, again, if you have already heard some information that relates to the condition that you are concerned about, go ahead and take that information that was already shared and use that in your own use, so that we can get to more and more different conditions. So I am excited to be co-host today with Mr. Jonty McCollier. Jonty, did you want to mention anything before we get going?
I just want to welcome everybody here. As we've said before, if you have an existing relationship with a distributor, we invite you to work with them. That's the right thing to do. If you don't, then please do get in touch with us. Go to askdoclive.com. You can order lots of products there. We've got a pretty comprehensive list of Youngevity's best products. And we also have a phone team at the ready, 855-949-RADIO. That's 855-949-7234. It's a bunch of sweet folks who've been doing this sort of thing for a long time. They really love helping people. So feel free to create a relationship with one of them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Dr. Wallach, you are the star of our show, and we are honored to have you here with us today. And any
you're very
words
kind.
of wisdom we want to get started with?
Well, yeah, of course, we're getting another spike in this COVID thing. And there's very good reasons why all that happened. They haven't dealt with the basic root cause, and everybody's waiting for the vaccine and the drug to kill the virus and everything like that. That's not the issue, because we get a pandemic that comes every 5 to 10 years. And if you kill out one bug, there's another bug right behind it. There's thousands of these viruses, and they're all waiting in line. And the reason is they haven't dealt with the basic root problem. Now, one of the diseases you don't hear much about anymore is malaria. For 10,000 years, there was a spring fever that would come all the time and kill millions of people every year. Okay, it was called the fever. Okay, and everybody knew for 10,000 years it was caused by an evil spirit. 1633, a Spanish woman who was part of the royalty of Spain was in Peru, and she had the fever. And there was an herbalist down there who gave her some extract of the cinchona tree bark, and it killed the fever. She was so excited. She took some home with her and was giving it to her royalty relatives and friends, and it was curing the fever. But they would get the fever the next year. The fever would come back the next year. It didn't permanently kill it. It just would get you through that particular spring. Well, in 1895 and 1897, there was an 18-year-old British medical student in India. His name was Ronald Ross. And the microscope had just come out, and he recognized that, and he was looking at blood cells of people who did not have the fever. And he was looking at blood cells of people who did have the fever. And he found this little black spot on all the blood cells of the ones who had the fever. And that black spot was not on the red blood cells of the ones who did not have the fever. So, 18 years old, he makes a connection. Okay, this is something, I don't know what it is. He didn't even think of the word parasite, but he just knew it was some kind of thing that was involved somehow with the fever. And he wrote it up in a little British medical journal, because India was part of the British Commonwealth at that time. That little newsletter went around the world. And it wasn't until, things kept happening, the same thing over and over and over. Every spring, millions would die from the fever, from the evil spirits. And then in 1939, just a year before we got into the Second World War, there was another medical student from Sweden. His name was Paul Mueller. And in addition to being a medical student, he was a chemist. He was a freaky chemist. And he comes up with an insecticide because he had read this thing of Ronald Ross's from 1895, and he perceived that it was a mosquito okay, because they found these same red blood cells with a black spot on them in the bellies of mosquitoes. They smashed the mosquitoes and looked at them under the microscope. And so he said, okay, so he comes up with what he called DDT, a famous insecticide which all environmentalists hate. And so he started spraying the swamps, and within 6 months' time, the fever ended. You don't hear about malaria anymore. If you ask a little kid, what's malaria? They say, what? Malaria? Maybe, is that something to do with my mother? Malaria? Okay, no. That's because we interrupted the life cycle of that parasite by killing off the vector, the intermediate host that transmitted it from one person to the next. Who cares about the parasite? We've just stopped the process by interfering with the cycle. Okay, well, the same thing is true with the COVID virus. They're trying to do something for 10,000 years to kill that virus, but it's not a viral pneumonia that kills people when you die from COVID. You bleed to death. Enteric bleeding, blood in your intestines, big blood clots the size of basketballs in your body cavity. Where's that coming from? Well, that's because you don't have any platelets. Well, when you have the COVID virus, why don't you have any platelets? Well, let's back up and look at a 3-year-old. When a 3-year-old gets the COVID, a human 3-year-old, they get a fever. It barely registers as a fever. 98.6 is normal. And they get a fever of less than 100. It's like 99, 101. And it's for 3 days, they get common cold-like symptoms, and it's over with, and they're immune, and they never hear about the COVID again. And a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. So what's going on there? A 63-year-old, they've got 3, 5, 8, 10, 12 pre-existing conditions. It's the pre-existing conditions that are the clue here. All the pre-existing conditions are nutritional deficiencies. None of them are genetic, none of them are autoimmune, although doctors will say they are. They're all nutritional deficient disease. That's why my thesis for my postdoctoral fellowship, representing 20,000 autopsies, is in the Smithsonian Institute. Because when I finished that project, I showed clearly there were no genetically transmitted diseases and there were no genetically transmitted birth defects. So they put my thesis into the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. I'm very, very proud of that. So when I look at this, I'm saying, okay, why is it that these people are bleeding to death? Let's go back 100 years ago to the Spanish flu, H1N1. Let's just look at India. In India, they had 110 million people infected in 6 months. 110 million infected in 3 months. In 6 months' time, 20 million had died in India as a result of this Spanish flu, H1N1. Well, what was the cause of death? I'm a pathologist, so I'm always looking for the cause of death. And they say, oh, he died of COVID. Well, what did he die from? He bled to death. Same way with the Spanish flu. 20 million people from India bled to death. Well, why was that? Well, that was because they'd been eating wheat for 10,000 years. It was a wild grass in India and Pakistan and Iran and Iraq. They were eating wheat, AKA gluten, for 10,000 years. They had no ability to absorb nutrients, so their bone marrow was dead. Your bone marrow is where you make your white blood cells, which are the cavalry and the Marines for your defensive systems. Okay, the white blood cells go through the bloodstream and kill and eat the viruses. You also, in your bone marrow, make antibodies from your stem cells. Antibodies go through the bloodstream and kill the viruses. You also make red blood cells. You hear of people that are anemic. They have to have a blood transfusion every month or get injections of B12 and iron shots. They go to the doctor every month for B12 shot and iron shots. Why don't you just take it orally? Well, we tried it orally and it didn't work, so he's got to give it to me by injection. Well, there's a clue.
Sorry, Doc, can you just unmute yourself? I was accidentally.
You're playing around. Get your hands off the equipment.
Didn't mean to do that. There's something moved. I'm sorry about that.
Keep your hands off the equipment, John T.
Will do, Doc.
Okay.
Ways and toys.
Okay. and so at any rate, all these 20 million people died in 6 months from hemorrhaging into their intestines. They do not die from viral pneumonia. When people say, oh, we had 18 more die last night from COVID. Okay, where did they die from? They're hemorrhaging to death because they're not making any platelets in their bone marrow. That's because the bone marrow requires 90 essential nutrients to do its job. So why isn't it getting the 90 essential nutrients? Frank supplements with everything. Well, Frank has a problem because he's eating gluten and cannot absorb because his intestines are dead. That shag rug appearance of your small intestine goes away, the villi go away, and now it just looks like a inside of a garden hose instead of a shag rug. You've lost 98% of your absorptive surface, and you're in trouble. Okay, so this is the basic root cause of all these pandemics that keep coming back. And so people have got to stop eating gluten and eat like an Asian. Eat rice and sweet potatoes and vegetables and fruit, and of course, eggs and meat, fish, poultry, red meat. You got to stay away from fried foods, processed meats, oils, and glutens, and supplement with the 90. Make sure, guarantee, well, wait a minute, my doctor said I can get everything I need just by eating well. Well, that doctor should go to jail for life, for reckless endangerment. Okay, now, it's be the same for your mechanic telling you, and you have, you've got the dream car of your life. Let's say it's a Jaguar or something like that. And you say, well, should I be putting some special oil in my car? Can I get some extra miles out of it if I put some special grade of oil in there? He says, nah, don't put oil in your car. Don't waste your money putting oil in your car. Put dirt from Texas or Oklahoma in there. There's bound to be some oil in it. An insane person would laugh at that mechanic, go outside and tell everybody not to go to that mechanic because he's crazy. You're not going to put dirt from Texas in your car instead of oil, hoping there's some oil in that dirt from Texas. When your doctor says, oh, just eat right, you get everything you need just by eating right, everybody runs around, oh, my doctor says I can just eat well and get everything I need. Bam, you're dead. So I hope that helps you out there.
That's incredible. I love the fact how you laid that out, Dr. Wallach, as far as the importance of the bone marrow, the importance of having healthy bones, and how it relates to our blood as well.
Our defense system.
Wonderful.
Yes, our defense system. Mm-hmm.
In fact, I had a client call me up on Wednesday because we had a blood drive here in our area. And she called me up. She's usually the one that just hosts it because she's never been able to give blood because of being anemic. 2 months, Dr. Wallach, on these products, and she was able to give blood.
Well, thank you for that testimony.
She was just jumping up and down and said, I'm going to tell everybody. So
good. She will save thousands of lives.
Yeah, I was really excited for that because that's one thing that happened with me as well.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We've got a nice crowd here. We just want to thank you for joining in with us this morning on your Friday morning. Or I did see that there are some people that are across the water in other countries, so evening for them. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ask Doc Live with Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, we have a couple hands up, Dr. Wallach, already.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and start with Gino. Gino, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm 60 years of age. I'm 5'7". I'm 190 pounds. I suffer from Peyronie's disease. For some time now, I've used the 90 Sweeties and the Ultimate EFA. Just wondering if there's something that I can do to, reduce the plaque or hopefully dissolve it completely over time.
Okay, well, plaque in the arteries, even in the male equipment, which causes this Peyronie's disease thing, right? Yep. It can be also in the coronary arteries. It can be in the eyes. It can be in the brain. It can be anywhere in your body, okay? And if it's one place, it's usually other places, and you're just getting more symptoms in one place than others, but it's not, well, I just have it there. No, it's everywhere, okay? Yeah. Well, when you have plaque in your arteries, it's not due to cholesterol. Cholesterol is your best friend. Cholesterol is your best friend. If you're on any statin drugs, get off of them, package them up in a beautiful package with a beautiful bow, and give it with love to your doctor, okay? Yep. Because cholesterol deficiency is the cause of Alzheimer's disease. Cholesterol does not cause plaque in the arteries. Cholesterol is not in plaque in the arteries. Cholesterol does not cause heart disease. Cholesterol makes up 95% of the weight of testosterone and 75% of the weight of your brain. Do not give up cholesterol. If your doctor says you need to be on a statin drug because your cholesterol is a little high, say, well, thank you for that information. You won't be seeing me anymore. And you'll be getting a note from another doctor to send my records to them. Okay? Because he's either knowledgeable and is milking you like a cow, or he's ignorant and out of his stupidity will kill you. And so either way, you want to leave that doctor. Then the cause of plaque in the arteries anywhere in all places is oxidative damage caused by eating fried foods. There are no such things as good fried foods or stir fried or anything like that. Absolutely, you have to stay away from oils, salad dressings, cooking oils, extra, virgin olive oil, all that kind of stuff. You give all that stuff to your doctor with love. And then you want to take, don't cherry pick nutrients. You sounded like to me you're cherry picking nutrients. At 190 pounds, I would take 2 healthy brain and heart packs because you have, I can tell by looking at you have certain deficiencies that can result in aneurysms, varicose veins, all kinds of stuff going on with elastic fibers in your connective tissue all over your body, including ligaments and tendons and disc between your vertebrae and cartilage and stuff like that. Okay, that's that white beard, the white hair tells me you're deficient in a certain nutrient. You're a guy I'd want to say, get my book, Rare Earths Been Cures. Go to chapter 11, tells you how to collect hair, how to package it, where to ship it, how to ship it. And in 2 weeks' time, you get the results back, and you will get information that will make you weep and cry, okay? Because this hair analysis will tell you, are you absorbing? If all those bars for each of those nutrients are below the bottom line, you're not absorbing. That's worth the effort right there, right? To know if you're absorbing or not. You don't need biopsies and surgeries to find out if you're absorbing. Just get a hair analysis. It's kind of like an external biopsy of your hair, right? Then I also would like you to get off all the bad foods, the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the glutens, wheat, butter, and oats, no sugar. Get rid of all the oxidative damage so your body can begin to heal itself. But you need, at 190 pounds, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. That's our biggest hammer in the toolbox, the healthy brain and heart pack. Take a full dose of everything at breakfast, a full dose of everything at dinner time. Additionally, I want you to take 3 twice a day of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. They will support healthy blood pressure, but also they support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, whether they're in your brain, your male equipment, in your kidneys. You might have, do you have any kidney issues? Are you on dialysis or anything like that?
Yeah, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed renal cell carcinoma. I had my kidney removed. And during the surgery, they scoped my bladder just to make sure there was nothing there. So I'm thinking that was the point of the trauma that started this whole plaque buildup.
Sure.
So
yeah, and so you need to change your ways, right? You need to change your diet and make sure you're taking the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight. And so, do you have any ringing in the ears or tinnitus, anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay, any balance or vertigo problems?
No.
Okay, great. Do you have any osteoporosis or arthritis?
I do not.
Okay. All right, so are you on dialysis or?
I am not, no.
Okay, good. All right, so let's go there. I would also throw in MSM for connective tissue. Okay, get your big fellow, so I'd get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. That's going to support maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, the walls of arteries and veins, which are very important here. Okay, and you should see the hair color in your head hair and your body hair and your beard and everything will start coming back and you look 25 years younger.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Any thoughts on traction therapy or heat therapy or anything for this?
Yeah, well, you can do any of that kind of stuff you want, but without the raw materials, you're not going to get the result because the Peyronie's is due to lack of raw materials. It's actually the same nutrient that causes the white, gray, and silver hair in the beard and the hair that nutrient deficiency causes varicose veins and aneurysms and vascular problems of all kinds, connective tissue problems of all kinds and everything. I would also throw in two other things. Thanks for bumping my memory here a little bit. I want you to take our XERA test, X-E-R-A-T-E-S-T, XERA test. Okay, that's, again, the raw materials for your male equipment to make testosterone. Okay, yep. And then I want you to take our ProstFX. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day, and it gives your prostate gland all the equipment and raw materials it needs to do its job properly. Okay?
Okay, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, doctor. Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. All right, so let's go to the first comment in the chat today. So we have a male, 65 years old, 175 pounds. Is there a test for wheat allergy?
Okay, that's a good question, and there is, but wheat allergy is not my interest. It's the gluten. Okay. Excuse me. You have to appreciate that human beings were not meant to eat gluten. Your doctor says, oh, eat a lot of whole grains, it's good for you. That doctor should be put in jail. Okay, we're not meant to eat whole grains other than rice. Okay. When you look at the people, excuse me, in Asia, the people in Asia, let's just look at, excuse me, when you just look at Asia, let's look at places like Taiwan and Singapore and stuff like that. Right now, with all this COVID stuff all over the world, they got 58 dead. We have 140,000 dead. Okay, and that's because they live on rice and we live on wheat. Nobody should be eating wheat. Now we're talking about things like bread, croutons, crackers, cookies, cupcakes, cake, pancakes, waffles, French toast, all that ice cream cones, all that stuff's got to go away. Well, this is made out of rice or buckwheat, which is not wheat. Okay, just remember India, 100 years ago when the H1N1 came through, 20 million died in 6 months because they've been eating wheat for 10,000 years. Now, if you look at Italy right now, they have the highest percentage of death rate from COVID of any country. Who is the biggest gluten eater in the Western world? Italy. Spaghetti, mustaccioli, right? Bread, everything you can think of is made from wheat and pizza crust, okay? In Italy, they have the highest death rate. The average death rate for all countries around the world, particularly Europe, is like 4 to 6% death rate in adults. In Italy, it's 10%. When you look at their neighbor, Germany, who's right next door to them, if it was an infectious disease, they should be sort of similar, right? And in Italy is 10%. In Germany is 0.5%. They have the lowest death rate of anybody in the world. And why is that? Do they have an immunity to the virus? No. They don't eat gluten. Have you ever heard of German potato salad? The place where Germans get their carbohydrates is baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, and all, potato salad. They also eat a lot of corn, they eat a lot of rice. Wheat is a very, very small thing for them. Now, I want you to think of India again. Remember 100 years ago, 20 million died in 6 months. We had 167,000 die in 6 months 100 years ago when the Spanish flu went through. We had 675,000 dead. 675,000 dead in America 100 years ago from that Spanish flu. Well, today in India, instead of 20 million dead, let's see, I think they have something like 1,300 dead and 3,000 infections or something like that. Why is that? Well, that's because they've switched to rice after the First World War 100 years ago. They switched to rice from gluten. After 10,000 years on gluten, they switched to rice because they can grow more rice with all the humidity and the swampy stuff and so forth. And they did it for an economic reason, but they got a benefit for their health on spin-off because they have one of the lowest death rates, percentages of any country in the world, instead of the highest, because they've switched their source of carbohydrates from wheat to rice.
It's amazing what that one difference can make.
Oh, yeah. So wheat, testing for wheat allergies, just automatically give up wheat and go to potatoes and rice, white potatoes, sweet potatoes, nothing fried, no fried potatoes, no fried rice. It can be wild rice, white rice, brown rice, red rice, yellow rice, it doesn't matter, but no fried rice. Okay?
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Again, we want to welcome you to Ask the Doc Live. Thank you for joining us. If you have friends that you want to share this information with, go ahead and send them to the website, askdoclive.com. Next, let's go to Bruce with his hand up. Bruce, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Bruce. Okay, sir. How can we help you?
Yeah, this is for my mom, all right? And she has a couple of issues. She's 89 years old, and she's 5'1" and weighs about 90 pounds. And she has high blood pressure. She has glaucoma, and she's constipated. Do you have anything that can help her?
Okay, sure. Does she have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis, or dry skin?
Oh, yeah, down near her shins, they're all kind of bruised up, you know.
Oh, bruised up. Okay, so she has some bleeding under her skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you touch it, it's you know, it hurts her. You know.
Yeah. Well, she's not making as many platelets as she should. Okay, in her bone marrow.
Okay.
Does she have white, gray, or silver hair?
Yes, white hair.
Okay. Well, that's a deficiency of a certain nutrient. That's not due to age.
Okay.
Does she have any cough issues? Anything like that? Does she ever complain about coughing or ringing in the ears or balance problems?
Yeah, she does have balance problems.
Okay, that vertigo. Okay, yeah. And this is, you know, she's 89 years old, you say?
Yes.
Okay, the odds are she has osteoporosis, including osteoporosis of the skull. There's 12 pairs of cranial nerves. You should get the book. It's called It's All in Your Head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get from osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves in the spinal cord. And you can get vertigo, balance problems. You get tinnitus, ringing in the ears. You get pressure going up in your eyes, the glaucoma in the eyes, because of ONA, optic nerve atrophy, because the skull begins to squeeze the second cranial nerve, the optic nerve, plus the blood vessel that goes through there, which causes the problems. Okay. And the bleeding has to do with she's not making enough platelets to prevent that bleeding. Okay. So she needs to get off of wheat, gluten, barley, rye, and oats, no oatmeal for breakfast, no breakfast of champions, no Wheaties, nothing like that, no cream of wheat for breakfast. She needs to be eating baked sweet potatoes with butter and rice for breakfast, along with some eggs, and some salmon. That's what I had this morning for breakfast was salmon from Norway, smoked salmon from Norway. I had a couple of soft-boiled eggs. I had rice, and I had onions and garlic on top of the rice. And then, of course, I had all my supplements. Okay. And so this is how your mom needs to eat also, because and she's getting that bleeding under the skin. She's also getting bleeding into her intestines. And this is the cause of death when somebody gets the COVID. And she's 89 years old. She's in that place where she's got these pre-existing conditions. Okay. She's got hemorrhaging. Okay. She's got osteoporosis of the skull. These are pre-existing conditions, saying that she's not absorbing nutrients, even if she's supplementing, because her intestines are damaged. So she's got to immediately change her diet to get rid of all the gluten out of her diet and fried foods and processed meats and oils and all that kind of stuff. So her intestines can heal so she can begin to absorb nutrients. And you will notice her hair color will start coming back. She'll have more energy. That dizziness will go away. That balance problems will go away. And also the hemorrhaging will stop. But if you don't get rid of all the bad stuff and give her the good stuff, I'd have her take at 100 pounds or 90 pounds, I'd have her take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, half a dose for everything twice a day. I'd also get her the MSM, 1 bottle a month, so she could take 2 of those with each meal. That's going to help her rebuild her bones, including her skull and her disc between the vertebrae. I also want her to have some of our collagen. We have a liquid, so she doesn't have to take too many pills and capsules. Get her 2 quarts of our liquid glucogel, and so she can take an ounce of that with breakfast, an ounce at dinner time, or an ounce of breakfast, an ounce at bedtime, however she wants to do it. And she can regrow her skin, her veins, her arteries, her tendons, connective tissue, and the bone matrix and everything. She'll be like she's a 65-year-old woman if she does all this.
That sounds great, Dr. Wallach.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Jonty, you want to mention that phone number again?
You read my mind. That's exactly what I was wanting to do. For anybody that's just joined us recently, if you have an existing relationship with a distributor, please make every effort to contact them. If you don't, then we invite you to visit askdoclive.com. You'll be able to order products there. You can contact us. And we also have a phone team at the ready, and their number is 855-949-RADIO, which is 855-949-7234. And they're a nice bunch of folks who have a lot of experience dealing with this sorts of things. So we really appreciate your support.
Awesome. And one thing I want to add, for those that are watching the replay, if you have questions that you have not had or heard Dr. Wallach answer in the past, go ahead and go to that askdoclive.com, look for the contact us, and submit your questions there. Would that be the best way, Jonty?
That's a very good way. You can also, and I forgot to mention that if you want to be invited to our future meetings, or and have your friends be invited to future meetings, send them to askdoclive.com, have them sign up for the newsletter there, and we'll be in touch most likely weekly, Doc, don't you think, every Friday?
Oh, yeah. You know, we'll be doing this for the next 300 years.
Sounds good to me.
Woo-hoo.
That's awesome.
I'm ready. All right, Dr. Wallach, we have Yolanda. She's 64 years old and a half, 5'3". In August of 2018, she looked to the left and back, and her left eye got paralyzed and developed ptosis. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Ptosis for the eyelid droops, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She had an MRI, and the only thing that shows up are swollen muscles on the back of the eyes, especially the left eye. She weighs 133 pounds. She doesn't have any pain. The doctors don't know what she has. And says, my daughter researched and thinks I have ocular myotosis. They've been to the Mayo Clinic and the Bausch Palmer Eye Institute in Miami. What can she do nutritionally?
Well, first of all, she needs to hold the Mayo. Stay away from the Mayo Clinic. Obviously, they don't know. She has osteoporosis of the skull. Now, you can be a newborn baby and have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, it has nothing to do with age. And when you start squeezing the nerves and the blood vessels into the eye, okay, you start getting all these eye issues, and the nerves to the face, the 7th cranial nerve, the 4th cranial nerve, the 6th cranial nerve. And that's why the eyelid droops, because they're being squeezed by the skull. When you have osteoporosis, it doesn't matter if it's your arm bones, your leg bones, your pelvis, your vertebrae, your skull, your jaw. When you have osteoporosis of your bones, the bones get bigger. Now, they don't get bigger because of more minerals. They get bigger because of the matrix, which is kind of like the rebar, which is kind of like tendon-like material in the bone, okay, that the minerals sit in. And that bone matrix gets bigger, and it begins to fill up the tunnels that all these nerves go through, putting pressure on the nerves. It's not bilateral. In other words, you can have more problems on one side than the other. It's pretty typical. For instance, when the facial nerve, the seventh cranial nerve, gets squeezed, you get Bell's palsy. It's very typical that only one side droops. Very rarely does both sides droop at the same time. Okay. You can get ringing in the ears. Tinnitus is caused by a squeezing of the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve. You get this vertigo. Okay. It's called Wallach's vertigo because I figured out that it was due to squeezing of the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve by osteoporosis of the skull, and has nothing to do, you know, with things going on in the brain. It's the skull squeezing that vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve. And so, again, I want people to get a hold of my newest book, which has just been out for a couple of months. It's called It's All in Your Head, and deals with the 25 different diseases you can get from osteoporosis of the skull. And you'll be going to eye doctors, dentists, neurologists, physical therapists, every kind of doctor, hearing doctors, and they'll be putting implants in the middle ear and hearing aids and all this kind of stuff, when really you just need to change your diet and take the 90 essential nutrients, and all those 25 different diseases go away. It's all in your head.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. So, and I know we had a couple comments in the comments in regards to tinnitus. So what Dr. Wallach just mentioned there definitely pertains to that as well. And there's the book, It's All in Your Head by Dr. Joel Wallach. You can find the book at drjwallach.com. And speaking of books and where to find books, Dr. Wallach, I'm excited to have some of your books in audio.
Yes, we've expanded our audio books. You know, we're on Kindle now. We're on Amazon audiobooks, Apple audiobooks. We're on audio.com, audible.com kind of thing. And you can get our Dead Doctors Don't Lie book on audio. You can get our book, Let's Play Doctor, Prepare. Let's see here. It's All in Your Head. There's one I just showed you, is also an audiobook. And then we have my real life adventure I had for my 2 years I spent in Africa and South Africa doing the white rhino conservation project, where I caught 200 white rhino. If you see a white rhino, the Zulu word for them is Mkombe. When you see the white rhino in a wild animal park or a zoo, it's either one that I caught or offsprings of the one that I caught. And I was a part of saving of the white rhino, because there's only 470 left. And now there's 25,000, because we spent a lot of time creating wild animal parks in Africa, especially for the white rhino, and training the rangers there and so forth. So I'm very, very proud of that. And of course, that book is called Rhino Express. That's all also in our audio book. So look at those. It's a great gift to give your young kids, especially if they want to be involved in biology and wild animals and that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I have one of those kids that loves to learn about animals. So,
Rhino Express.
Rhino Express it will be. All right. Next, we have Mr. Jefferson on with us. Mr. Jefferson, you are on live with Ask Dr. Wallach.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, sir. How can we help you?
Yes, I'm 140, 5'8". I'm 67 years old. I had 2 stents put in my heart about 3 years ago. I do have ringing in the ear. They said I had high blood pressure, diabetes, but all that is under control with diet. But my main question is, I get a pressure from my heart when I exert myself.
Okay, do you have a fast heart rate? It's called tachycardia?
No.
Okay, do you have an irregular heart rate? It can be called atrial fibrillation?
No, none of that.
None of that. Okay, good. You say you weigh 140 pounds?
Yes.
Okay, you're about my size. I weigh 142, so I know what you speak. But I take the equivalent nutrients for a 200-pound man. So I take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. And I would do that in your case. Take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. That's our biggest hammer in the toolbox. Take a full dose of everything twice a day, full dose of breakfast and dinner of all the things that are in that Healthy Brain and Heart pack. And then you also want to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. It'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. You want to take our BTT 2.0 tablets, which do not replace the BTT 2.0 powder that comes with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. The BTT 2.0 powder are vitamins and minerals, whereas the BTT 2.0 tablets are an antioxidant. They're going to relieve and tamp down inflammation, okay, which causes all this stuff going on in your arteries and in the eyes and the heart and so forth. And again, none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no sugar. And I would also throw in the MSM. Go ahead and get one of those bottles a month. It's a big bottle, so you can take 3 twice a day or 2, 3 times a day for a total of 6 a day. I'd also throw in our glucogel. I take 15 of those capsules a day. It's 2 bottles of the capsules. I travel a lot and I can't take the liquids with me because they're too heavy. And they don't tighten the top when they inspect them at the inspectors, and it gets all over my clothes. So I learned to take the capsules with me. So I take 15 of those glucogel capsules, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner time. And again, I'm 81 years old. Okay. And, you know, you will be amazed, 3 guys in a mall a couple of years ago, I bought the last one of something they wanted. And so 2 of them grabbed me and the other one tried to take that thing away from me. And it wasn't, but I don't know, 30 seconds, all 3 of them were on the floor crying. And I kept my thing and I walked out of there. And I'm only 142 pounds. And between them, they weighed 600 pounds, okay? Between the 3 of them. They didn't realize I'd spent 27 years in the military, 7 years in the Army and 20 years in the Air Force, plus wrestling in junior high, high school, and university, football and stuff like that. And so even though I'm small, I have a lot of technique, okay? And I'm in good physical shape. And so you can do it, okay?
Thank you.
That's Wallach power. That's Wallach power. That's awesome. So I have a quick question. You had asked him if he had tachycardia. Was there anything that you would have added to what you just shared with him if he had?
Well, if he had tachycardia, I would also give him more of things like the ultimate cardio FX kind of stuff. I would also give him, I'd give him 3 times a day instead of 3 twice a day. I would also give him the ultimate cardio sticks, okay, which helps blood go through clogged arteries and stuff until they're healed. I've been taking that for 25 years, twice a day.
And I love the fact that with that one stick, you can put it in like 24 ounces of water and you have your one in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. And it tastes good.
Yeah, it tastes good too.
Yep. All right. So next, Dr. Wallach, we have an email that has come in. And Debbie from Michigan, she has a teenage grandson who's 16 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, 165 pounds. He eats very healthy and is gluten-free, no sugar whatsoever, but he is having cystic acne. Is there a food or anything that might be triggering that, or what is the protocol that you would recommend?
Well, he may be sneak eating gluten in school or with his friends after school, okay? This means when you say you're gluten-free, there are no such things as gluten-free oats. So there's no oatmeal, no Cheerios, no breakfast of champions, no Wheaties, no pancakes, no waffles, no hamburger buns, no hot dog buns, no spaghetti. You can't go to spaghetti factory 3 nights a week and eat spaghetti. No mustacholi, okay? You can eat pizza, but you got to get the gluten-free pizza crusts, that are made from, what is it?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower, there you go. Made from cauliflower and rice and cauliflower and potato flour and so forth. I mean, the dog and the cat cannot have any gluten in their dry cat and dog food. He cannot be spending any time with his buddies in the spaghetti factory and at Taco Bell, and he can't be going to Waffle House and places like that. Well, I don't eat that stuff. I just go there. Well, just the dust in the air can get him and cause him the problems. But, he needs at 140, 160 pounds, whatever it is, I'd have him get 2 of those Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. If he plays sports, he needs the MSM, 3 of those twice a day. He needs the glucogel, 15 of the capsules a day if he's playing sports, 5, 5, and 5. And don't forget Michigan, I think you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, he needs to be on 3 of the vitamin D3 capsules twice a day because you don't get enough sunshine even in the summertime in Michigan. And so, but this can all turn around very quickly within, days. But he's going to have to be proactive and be serious about no gluten.
All right. Next, let's go to Orjanti. Did you want to mention that number again? Because I know there's a lot of people on here.
I'd be happy to. I see some folks just joined us. Please, we invite you all to show your support by, if you want to order any of these products, go to askdoclive.com. We've got a pretty comprehensive store there, the decent checkout process, and it's a way that you can scratch our backs for putting all of this together. If you have an existing relationship with the longevity distributor, please make every effort to contact them. And there's also a phone team at the ready, 855-949-RADIO. That's 855-949-7234.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, John T. And next, let's go to Rob Neal. Rob, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, you hear me pretty good?
Yes,
Hear
sir.
you great.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having this program. I am honored because I've been listening to Nori and Wallach for about 6 years at late at night with my headphones on, and I finally get to meet him and see him. This is just fantastic.
Yeah, well, George Nori is the greatest. I just am honored to be able to work with him.
Well, you tell him there's people in Sacramento that love him, both of you guys, and
Okay.
I just started working from down south toward being a distributor myself, so I got a lot to look forward to. Okay. Here I go. I'm 6 feet. I'm 195 pounds, and let's see. Oh, age. I'm 70 years old. And all of that being said, I've been trying to listen about the 4 or 5 things that I have, and I want to be considerate. So in the future, I want to talk to you about a pet and my brother's stroke, but put that aside for now. But for me, type 2 diabetic, I have tinnitus, and I'm a moderate to high drinker, not very high, but just on occasion when we're goofing around, me and my wife and all that. And my hair in the back is just where it's starting to thin. But other than that, all the stuff you've been saying, I've been listening to over the years, people think I dye my hair. I don't. I don't dye it at all.
Okay. Any arthritis or high blood pressure?
Maybe a little in my hands. I have extremely big hands, and they measured me at a chiropractic place, and I'm not to brag, but they said, well, I'm very fortunate because he had me squeeze something, and they said nobody's ever squeezed 200, 300, whatever that thing is before. I was proud of that, but I do have pains in my hands now.
Okay. All right. Well, that goes along with the tinnitus, the ringing in the ears.
Really?
Okay. Yes. Basically, there's 12 pairs of cranial nerves that come out of your skull. Okay, they're made in the brain, come through the skull and go out and do things. And tinnitus is caused by a squeezing of the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. You'll slowly lose hearing as well as getting that sound. Okay.
Yeah.
But do you have any numbness or tingling in your shoulders or neck?
Well, it's funny. I turned 70 in January, and just prior to that, I used to like to put my hands behind my, one hand behind my head and one hand behind my back, and just touch the tips of my fingers just to keep in shape. I can't do that now. It hurts too bad.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
Well, here's what's happening. Yeah. You have osteoporosis all over the body, but you're seeing symptoms related to osteoporosis of the skull. And people don't realize this, but your spinal cord is formed in the brain. It comes out of the big hole in the back of the skull called the foramen magnum, which is Latin for big hole. Okay. And again, as you get this osteoporosis of the skull, that bone gets bigger, which then begins to put pressure in that hole and cuts the diameter, inside diameter of that hole in half, putting pressure on the spinal cord, which is causing the numbness and tingling and pain in your neck and shoulders and your hands. And your doctor might say, you know, you might have some carpal tunnel syndrome or something like that, but it's really going on up here. It's like sciatica of the shoulder girdle.
Oh.
Do you have any low back stuff and sciatica of your hips and legs?
Fortunately, no. As a matter of fact, like yourself, I am proud that I try to listen to you, and what I have listened to has made me pretty healthy, and I'm out jumping and playing basketball with kids in their 20s.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're dealing with, you say, diabetes, right?
Yep.
So I want you to get a hold of that book called Hell's Kitchen and a CD called Hell's Kitchen. It goes into obesity, which you're not worried about, but it's also about half of it deals with diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a very simple nutritional deficiency disease, okay? And so I want you to, it's your body weight, 195. I want you to take, 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. That's our biggest hammer in the toolbox.
Okay.
Take a full dose of that twice a day. Then I want you also to get the MSM. Because you have osteoporosis of the skull, I want you to get 2 bottles of the MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal.
Okay.
I only weigh 142, and I take 3 twice a day, so I want you to take 3 with each meal. And that's going to help rebuild the matrix of the bones and the disc between the vertebrae and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And then, I also want you to take the sweeties. Get 2 bottles of sweeties, so you take 3 of those twice a day. And if you're on medication for your diabetes, I want you to take, you want to check your diabetes, your blood sugar, at least 3 days a week, and you can use the urine test strips also. And as your blood sugar begins to drop, you can slowly reduce your medication based on the numbers. Don't cold turkey off your medication. Do it slowly based on the numbers. Okay. And usually it takes anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to wean off your medication. I don't care if it's, I'm assuming you're a type 2 diabetic?
Exact. Perfect assumption. Perfect.
Okay, good. Well, that is a simple nutritional deficiency, easily dealt with. But you got to stay on a gluten-free diet forever. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no bread.
None.
Okay, now, they do have gluten-free breads made from rice. They have rice cakes and rice sticks and stuff like that. You cannot have things like French toast made from bread. No whole wheat bread, no oat bread, no breakfast of champions, no cream of wheat, none of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
No croutons in your salad.
Okay.
And if you're gonna eat pizza, you got to have the gluten-free pizza crust, that's made from cauliflower.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Then give us a call every couple of weeks. You're going to be a great testimony here, and testimonies are good also, as well as questions. Where people say, well, yeah, I had diabetes for 8, 10, 12 years, and boy, just in 2 weeks on this program, it went away. My doctor couldn't believe it. Okay. But they never say, well, tell me what you're doing so I can give it to my other patients. They never say that. Why do you think that is?
Well, can I ask you this about the eggs eating? I eat a lot of eggs that you mentioned. And what did that do for me? Because apparently it's done something good.
Okay, well, the egg yolk's soft. They got to be soft. Hard-boiled eggs won't count.
Yeah.
Okay. Soft boiled, soft yolk, soft poached, soft yolk, soft scrambled in butter.
Okay.
You have to appreciate that 75% of your brain weight is the white matter of the brain. It's made out of cholesterol.
Oh.
You're going to get Alzheimer's disease if you avoid eggs. Doctors are the cause of Alzheimer's disease. There was lots of dementias, before Alzheimer's disease. There's 8 different dementias. Alzheimer's disease is only one of them. But why is it that doctors call all dementias Alzheimer's disease? Well, because you're afraid of Alzheimer's disease, and also the insurance companies pay the most for treatment of Alzheimer's disease.
That's sad.
Okay, get the picture?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay, also cholesterol makes up 95% of the weight of testosterone. I'm 81 years old and don't have any problems in that area, okay?
That was going to be my next question. You're a mile ahead of me.
Yeah, so I eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. I also take our Xera test, Xera-test, which is our supplement program specifically for the Sertoli cells in the testicles to make testosterone. And I also take 3 of the Prostifex capsules twice a day, so I get all that's needed in that area. Okay.
Okay. Well, I sure want to thank you, and I look
thank
forward
you.
to seeing you again. And
Okay.
and I talked to my lawn and some people down south, so tell them Robert Neal said hi.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
I'll tell her you called.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, awesome. Dr. Wallach, it's 5 minutes to 9. Would you like to take your 10-minute break now or take another call?
Let's take one more call here, and we'll just start the break at top of the hour.
All right, sounds good. So we have Tom who is writing in. He's 190 pounds, is 5 foot 10 inches, and 54 is his age. He's been fighting psoriatic arthritis for 14 years, and I'm coming close to needing an ankle replacement. Also has inflammation in his eyes and is causing eruptions on the retina, which is distorting his vision, and he has cataract. He has had cataract surgery already. So what do you recommend for Tom, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, now let's go back to his musculoskeletal stuff. Okay. Okay, he's got psoriatic arthritis, correct?
Yes.
Well, psoriasis is caused by a deficiency of one class of nutrients. Arthritis is a very simple nutritional deficiency. Your bones and joints and cartilage and ligaments and tendons require 90 essential nutrients, so it could be any 1 or any 10 or any 25 of those nutrients that are not there, resulting in all this. So what he needs to do is get rid of all the bad stuff, maximize absorption, right? And stop all the inflammation. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye oats, and no sugar. And I'd have him take 2 of those healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I'd have him take, and there'll be a bottle of the EFAs and a bottle of the EFA pluses. Don't say, well, I'll just take 1 of each of those a day and that'll last me 6 months. Don't do that. He wants 3. He's going to get 1 of those, 1 of each of those in each of those healthy brain and heart packs. So I want him to take 3 of the EFAs twice a day and 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day. The psoriasis will go away very quickly. It's a deficiency of a single nutrient, but he's got to be able to absorb those nutrients. So he's got to get rid of the gluten. No wheat, brown, rye oats, so he can absorb the nutrients. Okay. And then I'd also have him take 2 bottles a month of the MSM added to that program. So he can take 3 of those 3 times a day. And that's going to help support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone cell, including the skull, which can be causing all this stuff going on with his eyes, squeezing the second cranial nerve, the optic nerve, and the blood vessels into the eye. But it wouldn't hurt, since he's already had cataract surgery, to throw in some antioxidants. I would throw in the BTT 2.0 tablets. I'd have him take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. It does not replace the BTT 2.0 powder, which is vitamins, minerals. The BTT 2.0 tablets are an antioxidant, reduces inflammation. And so I'm going to take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I also want him to take the glucogel, 15 of those a day, 5, 5, and 5. And that'll rebuild the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, and bone matrix, since he has this psoriatic arthritis thing. And he needs to contact us every 2 weeks, because he's going to have a great, great testimony. And this is very typical, okay? When you get psoriatic arthritis, even when you get RA arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, it's not an autoimmune disease. Rheumatoid arthritis is kind of the same principle as the psoriatic arthritis, but there is an infection with rheumatoid arthritis. It's caused by an infection of a bug called mycoplasma, which is kind of halfway between a bacteria and a fungus. It's killable with an antibiotic out of the tetracycline group called minocycline. So when people have RA, rheumatoid arthritis, they need to get a prescription for that minocycline so they can kill that bug. And then they need the 90 essential nutrients for the MSM and the vitamin D3 and the glucogel and all that kind of stuff, and it'll heal the arthritis, kill the bug. Even RA will go away in 4 to 6 weeks. I don't care if you've had it for 25 years.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Well, it is top of the hour. We are going to take a 10-minute break. Get up, stretch, get some oxygen moving. We'll see you in 10.
We'll see you in 10.
Thanks, everybody. Stick with us. 10 minutes, we'll be back. I'm just going to put up a cute little slide here. so that everyone knows. Let's see here.
Oh man, I just broke things I can't.
All right, awesome, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us. We've got about 2 more minutes and Dr. Wallach will be back on with us. I want to thank you so much for joining us with Ask Doc Live. If you have anybody that is interested in improving their health and would like to get on our newsletter, go to askdoclive.com and sign up for the newsletter. You'll also be able to sign up for the invitations, and anytime we have one of these broadcasts, you'll get the special link that would allow you to come in. So, Dr. Wallach, you ready?
I'm back.
All right, all right. So, we have Travis who has his hand up. Oh, hold on a minute. Where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
He was just there. There he is. All right, Travis, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Travis. Are you there? Oh, we have to go to a different. Now we may have to go someplace else.
Go. Yeah, let's go to Deborah Erickson. Deborah, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Do I need to? Am I unmuted?
You
Yes.
are loud and clear.
Okay, great.
Dear.
Okay, great. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
Hi. I'm calling about my sister. She is 71. She weighs about 250 pounds, and she's 5'6". She has diabetes. She had high blood pressure, but that's not really the issue right now. She has Hashimoto's disease. She's one of the people that they tried giving the nuke pill back in the 80s to kill her thyroid, and then it came back to life. But the biggest issue she's got now is because of the diabetes had got to be so bad that it attacked her kidneys, and she's now on dialysis. So she's been on about a year, and I've been talking to her about you and your supplements, and I wanted to try to get some information I can let her receive.
Okay, I apologize. How old is she again?
She's 71.
71 and 250 something pounds and 5'6". 6, okay. Yeah, well, she's got about 6 or 8 pre-existing conditions here, all of which are nutritional deficiencies, all right? And so she needs to deal with these things. Otherwise, if she gets the COVID, she's in big trouble, okay? So I need her to get off all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye oats. Everybody in her family has got to be obsessively gluten-free, so there's no cross-contamination in the beds, the couches, the rugs, the food preparation surfaces, the laundry, that kind of stuff, okay? Dog, cat food, bird food, all that's got to be gluten-free. Then I want her to have, again, the biggest hammer in the toolbox, 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month, the full dose everything twice a day. And because she has type 2 diabetes, I want her to get a hold of, I'd have her get 3 of the bottles of the sweeties, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. She needs to take her fasting blood sugar every day, and as her blood sugar drops, she can slowly reduce her medication based on the numbers. I also want her to get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. She can take 3 of those twice a day, and that's going to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, which is going to help the kidney issues, as well as support healthy blood pressure. Bless you. And then, and then because she has, again, this kidney issue, she's on dialysis. I also want her to have the Ultimate Daily, let's back up here. I want her to have the BTT 2.0 tablets. I want her to take 3 of those twice a day. And they're going to reduce the inflammation in the arteries going into the kidneys, as well as that the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, okay? She's going to take 3 of those at least twice a day, better yet 3 times a day, of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, and then 3 twice a day of the BTT 2.0 tablets. Our goal here is to get the blood flowing into the kidneys. Usually when people have kidney issues and they're on dialysis, there's really nothing wrong with the kidneys, but the arteries carrying the dirty blood into the kidneys are blocked. The kidneys will release a hormone called renin, R-E-N-I-N. Most doctors forget about that, but your kidneys will produce a hormone called renin, R-E-N-I-N. And the purpose of the renin is to drive the blood pressure up so that it can drive the blood into the dirty blood into the kidneys. Okay, so that's all needs to be done. So let's see here. We've dealt with that. The MSM is going to be good for her bones at her age, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bone matrix. So we've dealt with the diabetes, we've dealt with the high blood pressure, we've dealt with the kidney failure, the weight. I want her to have 2 of her 3 meals. I want her to have 2 of her 3 meals a keto caramel meal. And she will lose a ½ pound to 2 pounds a day doing that. Her 3rd meal, she can't have a 10,000 calorie 3rd meal. She won't be hungry, so it'll be easy. I want her to keep her calories down below, on that 1 meal, I want her to have her calories down below 500, and she'll be able to eat like steamed vegetables, things like carrots and so forth, carrots and peas, and she also needs maybe bell peppers and radishes and things of that nature. She needs to get rid of cruciferous vegetables because she has a thyroid issue. That means no broccoli, cauliflower, absolutely no cabbage. Okay, she can't have any of that kind of stuff. All right, and then I want her also to take 2 bottles a month of our Ocean's Gold, which has the minerals specifically from ocean, algae, kelp, seaweed, seagrasses, and so forth. And she can take 3 of those twice a day. It's called Ocean's Gold, and stay away from the cruciferous vegetables. She's going to do very well in her thyroid issues.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Wallach, you mentioned the keto caramel.
Yes.
I love our keto shakes.
Yeah, well, the keto
Strawberry
shake and
cream.
and the keto bar, either one of those, you can't have both at the same meal. You're defeating the purpose. And it doesn't have to be the same meals every day. It could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It could be breakfast and dinner. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It could be breakfast and lunch. You know, you can move them around. Doesn't matter. But you'll lose a half a pound or 2 pounds a day very consistently. I get people who weigh 350, 400, 500, 600 pounds. Literally every month I get people in these high weight groups, and they've been, you know, they've had bypasses and all this stuff, and they still can't lose the weight. And that's because they're not dealing with the basic root cause of the problem. People who are overweight always have the same problem. It's a behavior called pica. Have you ever heard of pica, P-I-C-A? Yeah, pica.
I'm on a farm. We've got
Okay.
horses.
Okay, so you know pica, they chew on the top rail of their stall, right? It's called cribbing. Why did they call that cribbing? Because babies, when they first came out with baby formulas and they switched from breast milk to baby formulas, the baby formulas only had 3 minerals in there. And so babies developed pica, and they started chewing on the top rail of the crib, and they called it cribbing. They would hold the rail with their hands, and they would chew on it. They would chew right through the rail, and they saw horses doing the same thing, so they called it cribbing like they did for kids. But then they started putting this plastic sheath on the rail of the crib so they wouldn't chew through the rail, which was, you know, kind of a dumb way to solve the mineral deficiency problem, was to put a plastic or fiberglass sleeve on that rail. Okay, but you take the 90 essential nutrients, and you will lose a half a pound or 2 pounds a day. It never fails. So people who weigh 250, 300, they can get down to 150 pounds, 175 pounds in 2-3 months time, just by doing exactly as I say. And they can cut back to, instead of, once they get to their ideal weight, they can just go to 1 meal a day, a keto caramel meal. And for most people, if they really do the right thing with the diet and the supplement program, that'll be perfect.
And I can attest to that. I'm down 95 pounds, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Thank
Very
you for
excited.
sharing.
Very excited.
Thank
All
you.
right. So again, if anybody's interested in getting a hold of these products, wanting to talk to somebody, we've got our amazing phone call team. And that is, let me see if I can remember it by heart. 855-94. Go ahead, John T.
I wrote it down. So it's 855-949-radio or 855-949-7234. If you want to show your support for what we're doing here, please, we invite you to go to askdoclive.com, and you can order all of these products there. If you have an existing distributor, please do reach out to them. We're not here to steal anybody's business. We're all a part of the same family, and we want to lift all boats. But please do show your support. That's ask.doclive.com. Also, if you want to invite your friends to be part of these meetings in the future, that's a good place to go. Sign up for the newsletter there, and you'll get an early invite to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, and to build on that, John T. and I and MZ are doing this to help build the community as a whole. So
And
we're here
it's much
for you.
appreciated by everybody. Much appreciated by everybody.
All right. Now, Dr. Wallach, we have Andrew. And Andrew, if you want to wave at me, if you want to answer any questions here. But he has commented here, he's 50, or sorry, giving away my age, 43 years old, 5'11" 220 pounds. He is taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. He has really bad tinnitus and dizziness that doesn't seem to be improving, and also high blood pressure that's not coming down. What else does he need to do?
Okay, well, he needs 2 of those Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, not just 1. Also, if he has tinnitus, that means he's got osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve, and I'm sure there's other things going on there, which they never tell you. But he needs to take the MSM. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. Start out with 1 bottle a month. That's going to help support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bone matrix, bone itself, including the skull. Also needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. He needs the glucogel also to help rebuild the bones and the disc between the vertebrae and so forth. So I'd have him take 5 of those 3 times a day. That's 2 bottles a month of the capsules. If he prefers the liquids, he could take 3 quarts of liquid a month. It'd be an ounce 3 times a day, or he can make a mixture. Some people like to take an ounce of the liquid twice a day and take the capsules with them during the day at work or something like that. And so any combination that gives you 3 servings of the glucogel. And high blood pressure, he needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And the blood pressure will slowly come down over a period of weeks. I think we covered everything there. Did I miss something?
Nope.
Okay.
You've got it. You got a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
All right. Next, let's try Travis. Travis, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Doc.
Hi.
I'm 6'1", 175. I've been taking the tangerine, selenium, but my real question is I have bad sinus issues. I had real bad sinus congestion. I had to have surgery in February, and I'm allergic to grass, and found out allergic to grass and mold, and then eggs and corn, and I was eating a lot of eggs, so I've cut the eggs out. But what can I do to get over sinus?
Yeah, you can't cut the eggs out. You need to go to duck eggs or quail eggs, which have a different protein than chicken eggs. So you should try them. They'll be safer for you. Okay. When you had surgery on your sinuses, that tells me that the tube that carries the mucus from the sinuses to your nasal passages are restricted or closed. Okay. A lot of pressure causing headaches and facial aches and stuff like that. That's osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. So you weigh 195 pounds, 175. Okay. Yeah, I'd go with 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I'd get the MSM, so you can take 1 bottle of MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month to help rebuild the skull. Okay. And that'll deal with this. It'll open up those tubes so the mucus will drain into the sinuses like they're supposed to. And you got to stay away from the bad stuff: fried foods, processed meats, oils, glutens, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. But you do need the eggs. And so I would try different species, ducks and quail and that kind of stuff. An ostrich egg, 1 ostrich egg a day will work. Sometimes people live near these ostrich farms. You can get an ostrich egg. But quail eggs are easy to get. So once a month, I try to eat 50 eggs in one day. It's usually quail eggs. I eat my 50 eggs. They're the size of a grape. Okay. And then the rest of the week, I'll eat 3 twice a day minimum. Sometimes, like on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'll have 3 eggs 3 times a day, because 75% of your brain weight is cholesterol, and 95% of the weight of testosterone is cholesterol. So you do need the extra cholesterol if life is going to be good.
Okay.
All right.
And you said 2 bottles of the MSM?
Yeah. 2 bottles of MSM will give you 3 times a day. If you weigh 170, I would start out with 1 bottle of MSM, and that'll go with 3 twice a day, because they're big bottles, so you can get 3 twice a day out of that big bottle.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
You bet. God bless.
All right, Dr. Wallach, let's first go to this quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen would like to know, can you cook or fry food in a skillet in butter?
No frying. You can baste, you can kind of lightly grill in melted butter, but if the butter is going bubbling like you're frying it, the answer is no, because you're heating it too hot. You're creating a bad thing out of a good thing. A stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away, but if you're frying in the butter, you're turning a good thing into a bad thing. No frying. These new machines are out, these machines that fry foods, without the oil and stuff like that.
The air fryer?
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, air fryers, yeah. They heat the fat in the meat and the fish to frying temperatures. It's still a bad thing. It's still going to kill you and cause plaque in your arteries. So if you have one of those air frying machines because your doctor suggested it, give it to your doctor with love. It'll be a tax deduction for you if you have, if you're in the longevity business, it'll be a tax deduction. Give it to your doctor with love. and be prepared to send his widow flowers.
All right, I get that question a lot, so I'm glad that Kathleen mentioned that here. All right, so next we have a caller, and she might be from the furthest part of where we are right now, Dr. Wallach.
Mhm.
Christine, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on with Dr. Wallach.
Is she on Mars? I mean, how far away is she?
Christine is in Nigeria. No,
Okay.
no. Sorry, Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Bahrain. Sorry,
Okay.
my bad.
Okay.
I know better.
Okay, well, welcome to America. How can we help you?
Okay, I have a son who is 7 years old, and he has been having what they call geographical tongue since he was 8 months old. He developed that kind of a tongue. So it is very sensitive sometimes, especially when he eats anything acidic. It keeps on peeling and becoming red.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've been just avoiding anything acidic so that he can feel better.
Okay.
They
Now
are
this is
saying
your
there is no medication for it. Yeah.
Okay, this is your husband, correct?
Her son,
Or
8
your
years
son?
old.
Okay. Oh, 8 years old. Okay.
The son, yeah, he's 7 years old,
7.
weighing 66.1 lbs.
Okay, is that pounds?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, so he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. The whole family needs to get rid of the bad stuff. Fried foods, processed meats, oils, glutens, wheat, butter, oats, sugar, all that's got to go. And then I would have him at his body weight. You need to get him the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and that will last him 2 months. Okay, he can take a half a dose every day of everything, and you're going to divide that half a dose into half, so he's going to get a quarter of a dose for breakfast and a quarter of a dose for dinner time. Okay, and then I would also have him take our de-stress capsules, capital D like David, de-stress capsules. I want him to take 3 of those a day, so that 1 bottle will last a month. I want him to take 1 with each meal, 1 with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You also need to take our Ultimate Niacin Plus. I want him to take a half of one of those, break them in half. So you take a half of one of those at breakfast and a half of one at dinner time. And he may kind of feel, within a couple of hours, he may feel kind of warm or itchy all over, because that's called a niacin flush. Okay. But one of the things, one of the deficiency symptoms of a niacin deficiency are ulcerations on the tongue. Okay. That's why I'm kind of going that direction. So let's start there. And but keep them away from the bad foods and do these things, and then contact us, on a regular basis every couple of weeks. We'll walk you guys through this, and let's see if we can't, get some of your community out there on these Zooms. And so we'll have an excuse to go to Bahrain when it's time.
And Dr. Wallach, I will accompany you on that trip.
Okay, you got a deal.
I've got I have a dozen ladies there right now. I just want to give great big hugs to.
Okay, let's go do it.
Yeah, personally, I also have a question. I've been on some products like Healthy Body Pack, MSM, Glucogel, and Selenium. So this was my condition. I was feeling a lot of pain in my body, inflammation, a lot of muscle and joint pains, and stiffness in my bones and joints, numbness in my hands and my legs, especially when I wake up in the morning. So since I started on that stuff, the inflammation has reduced, and also the pains have reduced. So what should I, for how long should I continue with the products to experience?
Okay, well, here's the ultimate question.
Yeah.
How long do you need to take oxygen?
Every day, every time.
Okay, well, your cells in your body require these nutrients every day. And so since you're getting some, make sure you're gluten-free, your speed of recovery will increase. You'll recover faster if you're gluten-free, and you'll recover more completely. But, I've been on these things for 72 years now, twice a day. All right, and I'm 81 years old. Most people think I'm in my 50s because I don't have any wrinkles. I have the energy I only need to sleep 4 hours a night. And It's one of those things where your body requires these things, and your immune system to defend you against COVID virus and other viruses and bacteria and fungus and things require these nutrients. So just because suddenly now you feel good, don't stop breathing. You still need your oxygen. Just because you feel good, don't stop your 90 essential nutrients, because remember, they're the things that pulled you out of the fire, and you want to keep taking these things. You will add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life if you take these things. If you stop taking them, it's like saying, well, you know, I've had oil in my car for 100,000 miles. I'm just going to put dirt from Texas in there. There's bound to be some oil in that dirt from Texas, so I don't have to put any oil, any oil in there anymore. Well, then your car burns up. Okay, you still, until you're 300 years old, you need to take your 90 essential nutrients and breathe oxygen. Okay.
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 Thank you. So do I need that? It was like a symptom of a rheumatic arthritis. So do I need that mineral cycling?
Okay, well, if you're diagnosed, and it's a blood test to get diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, if you're diagnosed positive for rheumatoid arthritis, I would get a prescription for that minocycline, and then it'll kill that bug. When the bug is killed, you don't need to be on minocycline any longer. It's a anti-bug treatment for killing the bug, but you still need to take the 90 essential nutrients to maintain cartilage and ligaments and tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. All right. Next.
Rebecca, before we go to move on, I just want to say to anybody who's just joining us, if you're interested in purchasing any of these products. Now, the longevity product line is a best-in-class, I guess you could call it, line of nutritional supplements. These have been formulated over the period of, how long, Doc, 30 years?
Yeah, most of them 30 to 50 years.
So this isn't the kind of multivitamin you're going to find on Amazon or something like that. This is
well, multivitamin you're going to find on Amazon, or you go to a pharmacy and get a multivitamin. Usually they say complete nutrition, 27 nutrients. That's not even a third of the 90.
Right, exactly. So this is a comprehensive way to make sure that you're getting all 90 essential nutrients.
That's correct.
And then some, Doc. Aren't there some essential nutrients that aren't on that 90 list just yet, but maybe could be or should be?
Well, you're giving away my secret here, John T. Okay, and you're exactly right. That's why our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. You'll hear me recommend that to people that have 5 and 6 different things. They got multiples of problems and pre-existing conditions, because our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has 225 nutrients in it, most of which will be declared essential nutrients within the next century. But we're not waiting. Okay, now you have to appreciate, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this, just for credibility. I have a degree in agriculture, and my major was in animal husbandry and nutrition. My minor was in field crops and soils. I have a degree in veterinary medicine. I have a postdoctoral fellowship, which is like a PhD degree in pathology. My thesis, which represents 20,000 autopsies, is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. I've received the Worcester Beach Award. You can look that up. That'll freak you out. I've also received the Klaus Schwartz Award. I've been recognized twice by the United Nations. Okay. And then I also went back to school and became a physician. I've been a licensed naturopathic physician since 1982. I see 2 million patients a day throughout the world in 50 countries. And like I say, we have 5,000 products. We have 5,000 products, and they're put together to deal with over 600 different diseases. So I urge people, if they're going to be serious about this, they have multiple family members with various problems, or they want to do this as an associate, as one of our distributors, and get the cash flow and build a community and help other people. And of course, the longevity business is a willable business. It's a willable business, okay? So when you die, you can pass it on to somebody else, and you can retire on it. You can retire and maintain your cash flow, okay? It's kind of crazy. But at any rate, it's one of those things where you really, really, really want to be involved for the benefit of your family and your community. And again, right now, we're getting so many people coming to us because 44 million people have been laid off because of the COVID virus. There's another million being laid off right now as we speak, John T, because there's another spike going on. And guess what? They're calling us saying, well, you say we can get a 20%. No, you get more than that. You get to pay the wholesale price if you become a preferred customer or an associate. If you get on auto ship for your monthly order, I pay the shipping. So you're going to, really save some money there because these are heavy liquids. You really want to get on auto ship. And then you want to appreciate that it's one of those things where you get cash flow. We'll see people say, well, I don't have a store or anything. That's good. You don't need a store. You don't need employees. You don't need inventory. You just take your orders on the phone or your computer or your email. You forward the orders to Youngevity. We do the shipping. We send you a check every month, and you get thousands of dollars worth of tax breaks every month, like a billionaire. Now, once you get your job back, let's say in 6 months' time, they start hiring people back, you get your job back. Don't give up your Youngevity business because as an employee, you don't get any tax breaks. But when you own your own little business like Youngevity, guess what? You get the tax breaks of a billionaire. Isn't that crazy? Now you can run your Youngevity business out of a car. Let's say you're living in your car because you got kicked out of your apartment because you couldn't pay the rent. You get the same income, you get the cash flow, you get the tax breaks, and you will be a miracle person even if you're living in your car and your only asset other than your car is your phone. You're in good shape.
And you're helping people. Of all things, you're actually doing a hell of a lot of good for all of the people in your life and the people in the world.
You will save humanity.
If you want to find out more, I invite you all to visit askdoclive.com. Please do scratch our back by purchasing products there. If you already have an existing relationship with a Youngevity distributor, make every effort to reach out to them and find them. We also have a phone team, and the number for that is 855-949-RADIO. That's 855-949-7234.
Or they can reply to the email that they received that invited them to this call.
Indeed. Anytime you receive a newsletter from us, we're listening. Go ahead and hit reply. We read your questions. We do our best to respond as rapidly as our small and expanding team can.
Yeah. Yeah, so I love the fact, because I come across so many people that can't afford to retire. I love the fact that I've been able to retire my husband and have him stay retired using this business. So thank you, Dr. Wallach.
That's a beautiful thing. You're very welcome, Rebecca.
All right, so moving on, we have Rick, who is on with us today. His wife has Meniere's in both ears from an accidental fall, which was diagnosed last August, and damaged the vestibular bone in the right ear from the blow to the head. She suffers with vertigo whenever the barometric pressure changes and has to stay in bed for a day. She's 5 foot, 184 pounds, 62 years old. Her treatment has included steroid shots to her right ear once every 3 months since November. She had her 3rd shot in June. She has stopped the high cholesterol. She has high blood pressure and high cholesterol controlled by prescription. She does a number of supplements and vitamins. Her hair is falling out until she added a hair and nail supplement.
Okay. Well, I believe she fell, and that's because she had Meniere's disease, which is a vertigo. And the odds are she has tinnitus. She also has ringing in the ears because it's the same nerve. It's the 8th cranial nerve involved. And it's one of those things where these doctors really should have something. They should go to jail for doing all these surgeries and implanting these implants in her middle ears and all this kind of stuff. Because all these things are loss of hearing and the Meniere's disease, the vertigo, the tinnitus, ringing in the ears, is due to osteoporosis of the skull. She's, let's see here, she's 5 foot tall. She weighs 184.
Okay.
So she's 84 pounds overweight. All right, so she needs to take 2 meals a day of the keto caramel meals, 2 meals a day, the keto caramel meals. She also needs the, let's see here. I'd have her take 3 of the vitamin D3 twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. She needs the MSM. I want her to take 1 bottle a month of that, so she can take 3 twice a day, and that's going to help rebuild the skull. And again, the keto caramel meals, I want her to take 2 of those a day, either the bar or the shake, and she can kind of rotate around. Doesn't have to be the same meals all the time. And she'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. So it's going to take her 1 to 2 months, and she will get down to that 100 pounds she needs to be if she's only, 5 foot tall. And usually these people will also have dental problems, high blood pressure. Did she say she had high blood pressure or diabetes?
Yes, high blood pressure and high cholesterol controlled by prescription.
Okay, well, she needs to get off of the statin drugs to lower cholesterol, because if she lowers cholesterol, she's going to get Alzheimer's disease. She'll get Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is a cholesterol deficiency. I want her to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs don't count. Okay, and again, because of the high blood pressure, I want her to have 3 of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. No diabetes.
Does not know anything about diabetes.
Okay, she might check. She can get some of these test strips for $1.50 each from a pharmacy without a prescription, and pee on the test strip and hold it up to the bottle, and if it turns the right color, she's got diabetes. Okay, and she can just keep taking the sweeties. And as that color gets less and less and less, she can slowly reduce. Well, she's not on medication for diabetes anyway, but the odds are we don't want her to go to the doctor, okay, and get any more prescriptions and things like that, okay?
All right, thank you, Dr. Wallach. So next, we have Randy, 5'11", 183 pounds, 39 years old, and is looking for suggestions for mental illness disorders such as bipolar.
Okay, well, the brain requires 90 essential nutrients, and so at 195 pounds, is that correct?
183.
183, okay, so very close, okay. Needs, get rid of all the bad stuff, maximize absorption, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran, oats, no sugar. And then I'd have them take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, the full dose everything twice a day. I'm gonna get 2 bottles a month of the D-Stress capsules, capital D like David Dash Stress, take 3 of those twice a day. The Ultimate Niacin Plus, I want them to take 1 of those bottles a month, so I can take 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner time. I also want them to take our Synaptive, get 2 bottles a month of Synaptive, so they can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. It's the raw materials for the brain cells to make their biochemical messaging chemicals, so they can talk to each other, okay? And he does need to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs, again, don't count. And let's see here. Let's go with that. Let's start there. Getting rid of all the bad foods, getting all these nutrients. If he has any arthritis or anything like that going on, he can, again, throw in the vitamin D3 and the glucogel. Wouldn't hurt to throw in the MSM, help rebuild the skull in case there's some pressure on the 12 cranial nerves.
All
okay.
right, great. So again, if you are interested in any of these products, get with the person that invited you to this call. If you got invited by an email, you can reply to that email or go to askdoclive.com and you will find a whole store of the products that are being mentioned today. If you would like to speak with somebody specifically about your condition, we do have our call team that's standing by, and that is 855-949-RADIO. 949-RADIO. And that is Jonty.
Yeah, Rebecca? Oh, 7234.
That's easy. 7234.
It never works for me though. Phones don't, I mean, I guess they do still have the letters, but when somebody says dial radio, my brain doesn't figure the numbers out. So I always like hearing the number.
And again, that's 855-949-7234.
7234.
Oh, 7234. And I put it in the text. So if you want to copy and look at that, because, you know, sometimes it's easier to remember when you see it with the right numbers. There. All right. Next, Dr. Wallach, we have Martin. Martin, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, hi, Dr. Wallach. Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Martin. Yes, sir.
I'm 80. No, I'm not. I'm 75. Very high calcium score. Diabetes. It's getting worse. And they have me on all kinds of medications to try to get my LDL. This is the cardiologist, the internist, my diabetes doctor. They want to get it as low as possible, all the way down into the 30s, they're saying these days.
Well, they want to give you Alzheimer's disease. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because it's pulling my cholesterol all the way down also. So
no, don't do that. Okay,
but what do I do?
You know, this is America. Change doctors.
I've got 3.
Go to a veterinarian.
Yeah. Are you still taking patients?
Okay. Now, what I want you to do, you weigh 180 something pounds, you say?
No. I weigh 160 and I'm 5'9".
Okay, 160, 5'9". Okay. So I want you to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, and oats, no sugar. This is for life. Then you need to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. A full dose of everything twice a day. Okay. Then you say you have diabetes. Is that correct?
Indeed. Yeah, it's type 2 and working its way to type 1.
There is no such thing. Okay. Well, that means that if you're taking your oral medication, you're not getting much results from it. They want to give you insulin injections because you're eating gluten and your intestines are dying. You can't absorb nutrients. You got to get off of gluten. No, you got to get off of gluten. You got to get off of gluten. Don't tell me you're not associated. You're either living in a house with somebody that eats gluten, your dog food has gluten in it, and you're getting cross-contaminated. You're getting gluten from somewhere. You're not absorbing efficiently. Okay? Is part of your problem.
Understand.
Okay. So you need to take 3 of the sweeties, 3 sweeties, 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. Do not cold turkey off your medication, either the oral stuff or the insulin. Okay, I love it when doctors say, oh, you're 70-something years old, you got type 1 diabetes. Well, type 1 diabetes is a birth defect. It's not a genetic thing, but the mother is missing stuff, and the beta cells are forming in the islets of Langerhans and the pancreas in the embryo. And so the embryo is born with too few beta cells, which make the insulin. And so from, early life, just a couple of weeks old, they know to give that baby insulin injections because they're not making enough insulin. So when you're 70-something years old or 80-something years old and you've been fine all your life and suddenly now they say you got type 1 diabetes, those doctors should go to jail for fraud, okay? You need to get off of gluten so you can absorb the oral medication and then your blood sugar comes down. Well, you take your extra sweeties along with your 2 healthy brain and heart packs, then suddenly now your insulin does its job. Your own insulin you're making does its own job and your blood sugar comes down, okay? And you can get rid of your diabetes because it's a simple type 2 diabetes, makes up 98% of the diabetic population. It's a simple nutritional deficiency disease. It's not genetic in any way, shape, or form. Again, the high blood pressure, the ultimate, the ultimate daily classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. And I would eat 3 eggs with soft yolks twice a day. You want to get your blood cholesterol somewhere between 350 and 500. When you get your total cholesterol, it's got to be all good cholesterol. You can't have any bad cholesterol in there. So no fried foods, you got, you can't heat eggs up beyond soft boiled and poached. You can't fry your eggs. No frying eggs, because then you damage the fats in the eggs, okay? Can't do it. And I think we covered the diabetes, we covered the high blood pressure. Anything else I missed?
No, I was going to ask you about butter. Is butter okay?
A stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away. I have a CD. You can go listen to that CD. A stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away. You also want to get a hold of my book and CD called Hell's Kitchen. deals with diabetes. And the butter is fine as long as you just melt it and use it to base foods and things with. You cannot fry in butter.
But you can eat it.
You can eat it. Yeah, you just take a stick of butter like a popsicle and eat it.
Yeah, right. I've heard you say that.
Okay.
Before we drop off, I was just wondering if there's any resource where I can find physicians that practice medicine according to the philosophy you use, because I said 3 different doctors are all saying things are all good.
No, you need to do this yourself. Okay. This is why we came up with all these books. You want to get a hold of that, and it'll teach you how to do all the diagnostics and the monitoring for all these 600 different diseases. Okay. It's called the Quartet of Books: Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, Passport to Aromatherapy, and it's all in your head, those 4 books. And it covers 600 different diseases, tells you how to diagnose them, tells you how to monitor them very economically on a day-to-day basis, and tells you how to know when they're gone. Okay. Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, Passport to Aromatherapy, and it's all in your head. And 3 of those 4 books you can get on our audiobooks on Kindle, Amazon, Apple, audible.com, audiobooks.com. And so you can go there as well as getting the hard copies. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Too bad you're not here practicing medicine. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
We've got him even better. We have access to him every Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time.
And the price is right.
And the price is the best. Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us again, Dr. Wallach, how many eggs per day?
A minimum of 6 for a 150-pound person or more. If you weigh 100 pounds, you could take, say, 2 twice a day. For little kids, they want to have 2 eggs a day, but they need the cholesterol. Fried eggs are bad. Poached eggs are good. Soft scrambled in butter are okay, but no frying. And hard-boiled, it's just kind of like eating peanuts. You're going to get some protein out of it, but you're not going to get the cholesterol and all the other stuff you need from the eggs.
All right. So, Dr. Wallach, next, when we go to Bahrain, this amazing lady right here has invited us to dinner. Layla, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Layla.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Okay. And so what is the primary language of Bahrain?
That's Arabic, but I'm Pakistani, so I speak Urdu.
Okay.
So, but I won't talk to you in Urdu. I'll speak to you in the normal language.
Okay, yeah. English is a good common language. Okay.
So I have a question here. My son is 19 years old. He is 5'9". He weighs 121 pounds. He's epileptic. So
epileptic, okay.
So he takes a medication for his epilepsy, and I would like to get him off his medication because when he doesn't take it, he gets seizures.
Yeah. At what age did he start getting seizures?
He was 4 years old.
Okay. Well, again, he and the whole family need to be gluten-free, right? No wheat, butter, iron, oats, no fried foods. All that bad stuff's got to go so they maximize absorption of the nutrients. Okay. Then you say he weighs 100 and what?
121 pounds. He's a very skinny boy.
131 pounds? 121 pounds, okay. Then he needs 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want him also to get an extra bottle of our selenium, because it has all these other cofactors involved in it. So he can take 3 selenium twice a day, a half a dose of everything else twice a day, okay, from the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I want him to get the de-stress capsules. He can take 2 bottles of those, take 3 of those twice a day. And I want him to get the Ultimate Niacin Plus 1 twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month. He needs a Synaptive, and he can get, start him out with 1 bottle of the Synaptive. That gives his brain cells the nutrients they need to make biochemical things that they can talk to each other, the brain cells can talk to each other. And let's start there. And let's see if we can't get his seizures to be of lower frequency, but also of lower intensity. Okay. Now, if that happens, if they start getting lower intensity, we know we're going in the right direction, and we can actually tweak that and make it stronger. If nothing happens in 2 months, then I'll tweak it and change it around. But we should be able to significantly reduce the amount of medication he needs. And in some cases, you can totally get him off, but you got to, do it slowly. You can't just say, okay, he's on this stuff, now get him off. Okay, you got to do it, based on the intensity of his symptoms. Okay.
Because right now he's on his Keppra medication, which he takes twice a day. And
Yes.
we have tapered it down because we are trying to build him, let him come down. But I don't want him to come down and then have seizures when he goes to university. I want
Exactly. He can't, he can't come down until he gives his brain the raw materials it needs to make its own chemicals so he doesn't have seizures. You're quite right.
Yeah. So that's my thing.
Okay.
So there was a lot of things I missed out, but like, how am I going to get the, okay.
Okay, we'll get the drift.
I wrote them down.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Did you want to say something, Jonty?
We've got 9 minutes left, Rebecca. Should we take one more question and then maybe we can sort of sign off at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take one more question if we can.
All right. So we have a comment in the comments here.
Okay.
And Janet heard you about a half a year ago mention on Coast to Coast that you were putting a book together on all the vertebrae in our body and how they affect function. She wants to know how this book is coming together.
Okay, we actually have a book. It's called It's All in Your Head. I was putting together a book on all of the cranial nerves, okay? Cranial nerves, but it also discusses some of the things that go on with the spinal cord or it used to be called Erb's palsy, which is kind of like sciatica of the neck and shoulders and arms and hands. And then, of course, the sciatica in the lower back and the legs and the hips and so forth. Well, this goes into the 25 different diseases that are caused by the osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and the spinal cord. And this is, I think, the book she was talking about.
All right, wonderful. And again, you can get that on Amazon. You can also get that at drjwallach.com. Next question is, Dr. Wallach, can you discuss cellulitis and how to treat it nutritionally? Are antibiotics necessary?
Well, usually cellulitis, if there's an infection involved, you need an antibiotic. But if there's not an infection involved, you get things like lupus, fibromyalgia. This could be diagnosed as a cellulitis, an inflammation of the cells of the muscles of the hips and the large muscle groups of the body and so forth. If you get an infection in the skin and they diagnose it as cellulitis, then you might need some antibiotics. But you have to appreciate all of your tissues in your body, including your muscles and your connective tissue and your disc and tendons and ligaments and cartilage and skin and walls of the arteries. If they don't have the nutrients they need, they will get a cellulitis. The cells get inflamed and start falling apart because they're not getting what they need to maintain themselves and function properly. So the first thing you do is you take your temperature, right? You get a hold of that quartet of books, including Let's Play Doctor. You take your temperature, and you can also go get a complete blood test, and it'll tell you immediately if you have an infection, because your white blood cells will be high, if you have an infection, and the doctor will tell you if you need to take an antibiotic or not. But if it's just inflammation like lupus or fibromyalgia, it's a simple nutritional deficiency. There's always a malabsorption piece involved in that because they have the skin problems, usually, especially with lupus, to get the rosacea on the face and sciatica and all that kind of stuff, and irritable bowel syndrome and celiac disease and so on. All of these things are caused by gluten. You've got to get rid of the wheat, brown, and rye oats so you can absorb the nutrients, and all those things go away. If you just take a cream for pain, that's not going to solve the problem. But doctors will well, let's give you a pain reliever for your inflammation. Okay, that's like saying, well, let's put a piece of adhesive tape over the red warning light in your dashboard. Is that going to save your engine? No. You got to check your oil levels. You got to check your coolant levels. You got, you know, that kind of stuff. Make sure those are all okay. And the same thing is true with you. Just relieving the symptom for, you know, let's say knee pain. You got inflammation there. Your doctor says, you know, you got some cellulitis in your knees. Let's just try some pain relievers here. And boy, you go 2 years and no problem. Boy, the end of the second year, yeah, you got bone-to-bone arthritis now. We got to do a double knee replacement. It's $50,000 for each knee. It's $100,000, and you don't have any health insurance. You know, I'll let you pay me $1,000 a month for the next 50 years. Oh no, it's 100 years because it's 50,000 for each knee. So why don't you just spend, you know, $3-4 a day on the nutrients and prevent your knees from going away, your hips from going away, your muscles from going away, your discs from going away. And, you know, it's more, what should I say, it's the more correct thing to do.
It absolutely is. I mean, I was in my 20s with knee problems and degenerative bone and disc disease. And now I go up and down stairs and run and up and down hills and love it. Absolutely love it.
Thanks for the testimony.
Let's have Robert one more time has another call. Go ahead, Robert. Rob Neal.
Okay. I have a question about a little girl, this little girl.
Okay,
See?
quickly.
Okay, she has a little growth right there on her. It's the size of a golf ball. It's up and down. She's 13 years old. And that little, can I see? Well, I don't know if you can see it right there. It's right
okay,
there.
what you need to do is take her to a veterinarian and see if it's just a fatty tumor or if it's something more severe. If it's a fatty tumor and she's not licking it or chewing it like it bothers her, you just leave it alone. But if it's something more, if it's something more serious, if it's in the bone or tendon, or if it's an abscess, an infection, then they may have to do some procedures like surgery or antibiotics or something like that. But you need to get somebody to put their hands on it and look at it and see what it is. Okay, and then tell me what it is, and I can give you some information. But we do have a program for pets. Our main program for pets of all kinds is called Arthrodex. It's one scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. How much does she weigh?
She weighs about 9 pounds, and she's 13 years old, and she doesn't lick it.
Okay, so she can have a half a scoop of the Arthrodex every day in her food. Also, I want her to have 2 of the EFAs. She could take 1 EFA and 1 EFA pluses a day in her food. If she won't eat them directly, just puncture the EFAs and EFA pluses and squirt the juice in there on the food. Those soft gel capsules. And but let's, you know, if she's 13 years old, you know, it's probably worth a $25 veterinary office call just to go in there and have the vet look at it and tell you what it is, kind of thing. But in the meantime, give her that Arthrodex. It's a half a scoop a day. It's our multiple powder. And then don't forget 1 EFA at breakfast and 1 EFA plus later on in the day. Sometimes it's easier just to plop the little capsules down their throat and rub their throat and smile at them, and they love it and love the attention and everything. And so let's go there until we find out what it is.
I sure appreciate you. And thank you, Rebecca. And thank you, Jonty.
You're very welcome.
Thanks so much.
And for those of you who have pets, my dogs love Arthrodex. Just sprinkle it on their food, and they're licking the bowl when the food is gone. They're loving it.
Yeah, if you don't put it on there, they'll sit there and look at you like, well, come on, what's the matter with you?
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Most definitely. All right. Well, we are coming up to the top of the hour. Thank you again, Dr. Wallach, for taking time out of your Friday to join us and continue to share the message that is bringing so much hope to so many people. I love it. I love being part of this. It is great honor. And Jonty, close us up.
I want to say, take a moment to say a very special thank you to Michael Zwierling for putting us all together. If it wasn't for him, we would all be doing something else right now. Dr. Wallach, I dare say you're a lean, mean healing machine.
Not bad for 81.
Not bad at all. And we're, you know, I'm doing this to help people. We're not doing this so we can go buy a yacht. We're doing this because we see the difference it makes in people's lives, and we know that it's the right darn thing to do.
Yeah. I should tell people I don't make a penny from the sale of any of the products.
Right. That's absolutely true.
I make my living from selling books and CDs.
And if you want to support us for bringing Dr. Wallach to you, please, we invite you to go to askdoclive.com to order products there. If you want a copy of this video, we will be mailing that out. So go to askdoclive.com and sign up for the newsletter there. You'll get we'll mail you a copy of the video once I get it sort of edited and posted. And if you have an existing longevity distributor, please order from them. We also have we have a phone team standing by, 855-949-RADIO, 855-949-7234. After we sign off, Rebecca, are you going to stick around for a little bit?
I can stick around a little bit.
Okay, fantastic.
Well, thank you guys very much. God bless. See you next week.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. We appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.